Maman ou papa ou ka babiller, en jeune qui moun kon, pour chaque fait ça, ou ka mette de l'eau de maman ou de papa aussi. Afrique en or, ou carry pretend, Afrique de aussi, ou carry pretend, Afrique David, ou carry pretend, Afrique Michel, ou carry pretend, ou toujours devant ce qui t'était. Rien ou quoi ou toujours play.
I'll play this one closer to 8 o'clock. Time check in the studios of DBS, your nation station. It is 7 o'clock. Time to bring you the morning news.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
This morning's headlines: electoral reform in Dominica to enter a new phase in July this year as voter ID cards are to be distributed to voters who have been confirmed. And St. Lucia's Education Minister says concern is mounting over the increasing number of students remaining in the streets hours after school has ended. Details of the morning news right after this.
DBS Radio on the go. www.dbcradio.net. Click the play button at the top and you're good to go with the nation station, DBS Radio.
DBS News.
Welcome back to the DBS Major Morning News. My name is Curtis Matthew. Electoral reform in Dominica will enter a new phase in July this year when voter ID cards are distributed to voters who have been confirmed. Chief Election Officer Anthea Joseph made the announcement this week.
We have not issued any cards. We have not issued cards. We have tested cards, the printing of cards, but we have not issued any cards to date. Cards will be issued somewhere in July of this year. So the cards will be available sometime in July. Well, there are three ways in which the law allows for persons to receive their cards. You can either come in person, it can be mailed, or we probably can have them delivered to the confirmation centers and have one of our officers in the office go out to different districts, different days, and we will put an announcement to let persons know, persons within that constituency from letter probably A to J can collect their cards on a particular day. So we'll put a schedule in place and we will go to the confirmation centers to distribute cards, and persons will also be able to come to the office here to collect their cards as well. And for those persons who are not in Dominica, we can also mail cards to those persons. There have been absolutely no cards distributed thus far. We will be having cards, the distribution of cards sometime in July. As I said, we have tested the printing of cards, but we have not distributed any cards to date. So if you hear of any person saying that they have the cards, this is not true.
And that's Dominica's Chief Election Officer, Anthea Joseph. Parish priest of the Vickers area, Father Francis, says the character of the late Ian Pinard should serve as a model for everyone, especially those in positions of service. The official funeral service for the former government minister, parliamentary representative, and chief election officer of the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, the late Ian Pinard, took place at the National Shrine of Our Lady of La Salette in Pont Michel on Friday. Mr. Pinard passed away on April 17.
Ian believed that leadership is not about authority, but about service. About service. He never saw himself above anyone. He stood alongside people. He listened more than he spoke. He treated everyone with dignity and respect. Somebody said, Father, he was a parliamentary representative and also 2 times minister of government. But Father, since I knew him, he will never for once come to tell you, you know I helped your mother. You know I helped your dad. You know I did all this for you. You know, he will never say so. But rather, he'll be ready to continue the service. That is an example of one who serves. Knowing that we are not serving that person you thought you are serving, but you are serving God. You are serving your Creator. His personality is an example, a model for each and every one of us, including myself as a priest. In my place of service, how do I serve? How do I serve? How do I actually carry out my responsibility? Is it with the expectation of praise, or with the expectation of the payment, or whatever? What am I doing when I'm serving? What is my intention?
And that's the parish priest of Viecas, Father Francis. Meantime, Chairman of the Port Manager Association of the Caribbean, Darwin Telemark, was among the mourners at yesterday's funeral service for the late Ian Pinard.
Well, I'll be quite honest with you. Ian showed up at our AGM in Curacao in 2025. That was in June of 2025, the last part of June. And it was quite amazing how profound he blended in, how articulate he was on the subject matter of what he wanted to do with the port here, how he reached out and built so many relationships and partnerships. His ascension was quite surprising to all of us. Ian seemed naturally able to engage, to fit in. He was a natural people person, and everyone loved him. When Ian got up to speak, representing Dominica, his tall stature and his big voice filled the room, and everyone was stunned as how he spoke and how he delivered. And as a Dominican sitting there, I was so pleased to see him comfortably doing something that is so important to Dominica, but sharing with the other partners in the Caribbean his commitment to the port community, and to trying to advance the region. We are all maritime states, and our port managers are critical to the development of our country, to trade facilitation, to ensuring that our port operation impacts positively our quality of life, our social and economic advancement.
And that's the chairman of the Port Manager Association of the Caribbean, Darwin Telemark. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit announced that the government of Dominica has received a draft list of third country nationals from the United States government for consideration. Mr. Skerrit stated at a press conference Wednesday that the government of Dominica has not yet approved the list.
I just saw a list a couple of days ago that the U.S. has sent to us for consideration of persons that they would like Dominica to consider transiting through. We have not approved the list yet. They've been reviewed. Obviously, we'll ask the United States for some more information. And once they provided us that information, we'll make a determination of how many of these people we will be accepting. For me, this is not about the United States or any other country. We have to have a certain humanism to us. And if Dominica can house some people, albeit temporarily, who are in distress, I believe it's a noble thing for us to do. I think it's a Christian thing for us to do. But the list I've seen and the ages of the people and so on, I believe that Dominica should facilitate some of these people. And if they want to stay permanently in Dominica, we should facilitate them to stay permanently in Dominica. That's my view. But I leave it to the country to decide.
And that's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Energy Minister Dr. Vince Henderson says Dominica reached a milestone in geothermal energy development on Thursday. He says for the first time, the Dominica Geothermal Energy Company was able to provide Domlec with 10 megawatts of power from geothermal energy.
We have also hit a milestone in geothermal energy development in Dominica. You know that since March 5th, the turbines came on, and we have been providing power to Domlec, not all the time, but we've been providing power to Domlec. And now we are on 10 megawatts. We are providing 10 megawatts of power to Domlec from geothermal energy. And that means that diesel generators got to turn off. And once we can stabilize the system, so once all the testing have been conducted and the power company is satisfied, Ormat is satisfied that the system is stable and can remain online, and Domlec is also on its end satisfied. The transmission lines company also have to sign off. And once we're satisfied that the system is stable and it can continue providing 10 megawatts of power to Domlec, then that is it. It means that we can shut down these diesel generators, reduce the cost of electricity to consumers and businesses. It will be a great achievement for us in Dominica, especially now. We know that fuel surcharge have gone up, and that we can minimize the amount of fuel utilized so that even if the fuel surcharge goes up, your bill will go down.
And that's the minister responsible for energy, Dr. Vince Henderson. One man is in police custody in connection with a fire in Roseau this week. 9 buildings were destroyed in the fire. One man is in police custody. DBS will bring you more on that development emerging in Dominica today. Parliamentary representative for the Castlebrooks constituency, Octavia Alfred, has described Nurse Hyacinth Thomas as a dedicated healthcare provider. The government of Dominica announced yesterday that the Castlebrooks Health and Wellness Center will be named after Nurse Hyacinth Thomas.
On behalf of the entire Castlebrooks constituency, I extend highest congratulations to Nurse Hyacinth Thomas, after whom the Castlebrooks Health and Wellness Center will be named. This is a fitting tribute to her decades of compassionate care, tireless advocacy, and unwavering contribution to every patient who crossed her path and every young nurse she mentored. The name Nurse Hyacinth Thomas will not just be a name on our Health and Wellness Center. It will be a standard built by her compassion and commitment to healthcare. For years, she has been the calm in crisis, the hand that held others, and the voice that said, we can do better, and then made it happen. She didn't just practice nursing, she elevated it. She was indeed the heart of healthcare in our district. No one deserves this honor more than Nurse Hyacinth Thomas. Her work became her legacy, and now her legacy has a home. We are proud of our Nurse Hyacinth Thomas and highly appreciate and congratulate her.
And that's the parliamentary representative for the Castlebrooks constituency, Octavia Alfred. 6 students from the Dominica State College and 2 non-profit organizations have benefited from financial assistance provided by the Dominica Sifokol Alumni Association as part of its annual scholarship and community support program. The awards were presented during a press conference held on Friday at the UE Auditorium. Wayne Liebert is president of the Dominica Sifokol Alumni Association.
It is because of your hard work that you are deserving of this award today. One of the things that makes this award possible was our flagship White Sunset with a hint of Creole that we're going to be doing this year for the 5th year in a row. We had several applicants apply this year, and we had a team of people who evaluated the applicants. That included, by the way, our sponsors of this event decided to join us last year in evaluating the people who applied. So we went through the applications, and everybody scored each individual organization or individual who applied, and then the top 3 candidates were presented to the board, and the board decided to select 2 candidates in addition to our donation to the Dominica State College.
And that's the president of the Dominica Sifokol Alumni Association, Wayne Liebert. The 6 students each received grants valued at $2,000 to assist with their studies. The recipients are Shakira Bramble, who is pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Rishanda Henry in Paralegal Studies, Keenan Mitchell in Business Administration with a focus on management, finance and tourism, Ajani Nanthan in auto mechanics, Jess Vidal in primary education, and Godisha Joseph in the pre-health certificate program. In addition to supporting students, the Dominica Sifokol Alumni Association also provided financial contributions to 2 non-profit organizations. And Culinary Tourism Association, Inc., and Lifeline Ministries, Inc., each received $10,000 to support their ongoing community initiatives. Here is the Vice President of the Culinary Tourism Association, Leontine Bellot. He says the support provided through the grant will go a long way.
The support provided through this grant is extremely important because it gives us the resources needed to move some of our ideas into action. It allows us to equip and train young leaders, organize cleanups and restoration activities, create educational materials and signage, and establish a river watch community that will continue monitoring our rivers and practice active river advocacy beyond the life of the project. Most importantly, this grant is helping us create opportunities for young people to lead meaningful change within their communities while contributing to the long-term project of Dominica's natural environment. Once again, thank you for your support and partnership. We look forward to successfully implementing the initiative and sharing the impact with you and the wider community.
And that's the Vice President of the Culinary Tourism Association, Leontine Bellot. Let's head into Antigua now, where Education Minister Kenson Kazimi says growing concern is mounting in St. Lucia over the increasing number of students remaining on the streets of Castries hours after school has ended. Speaking following this week's cabinet briefing, Kazimi said the issue has drawn the attention of education officials, policy makers, and law enforcement authorities amid concerns about student safety and supervision.
I am concerned. I want students to be more gainfully engaged in meaningful activities after school. And the ministry have provided a number of after school, not just the Ministry of Education, but the Ministry of Social Transformation. We have after school programs centered around bringing people into clubs and organizations. We as a ministry, we've set aside some finances for additional truancy officers, and that will be part of what we want to put in terms of ensuring that there is less loitering, that we have, kids getting involved with extracurricular activities. We've been having some discussions on whether or not we get somebody responsible for creating the actual, framework for diverting students into these extracurricular activities and taking it from there.
And that's St. Lucia's Minister for Education, Kenson Kazimi. That's news. Don't go away. The Sports Bulletin comes up shortly.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Here's a quick tip from NBD.
A quick tip from the National Bank of Dominica Limited. Scammers may send fake emails or texts. Remember, NBD will never ask you to reset your more banking password or share your card PIN, CVV, or other sensitive information this way. Stay alert. Stay secure. When in doubt, contact NBD, your partner, your bank.
Let's begin the DBS Morning Sports Report with football news. Roosevelt Copel netted twice as Valvoline We United edged out Middleham United to register their first win in the DFA Premier League last night at the DFA Technical Centre. Copel's 2 goals proved to be the difference as We United beat Middleham United by 2-1. We United senior player Lennon Barney says despite the win, his team was not at its best.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, the ball was moving around nicely. As you could see, the opposition, the opponents, they were playing very sloppy, slow, and they looked like they were out of shape. And I felt like we were dominating, and we used that to our advantage to some extent, but I think we took it for granted that we are faster, much faster playing team, we're a more explosive team. And we didn't really use that tonight because it's all to do with underestimating the team. We feed off energy, so we're expecting the team to kind of give us a challenge so we could really open the floodgates. But we're thankful for the W. That's what we came for. We'll take it and we'll go back to the drawing board and we'll do what we have to.
And that's the We United senior player Lennon Barnes. The loss was the second in a row for Middleham United, who are still without several key suspended players. Well, coach Ronnie Gustav says despite the loss, the team showed great fight.
Yeah, most definitely. You could see this evening there was a much different game. The players was putting a little more pressure on We United. I mean, we get a few opportunities that we didn't capitalize on. But it's a working process. We're just getting back, and I say the inclusion of Gregor this evening make a big difference in defense, and the likes of Kimon coming into the center of the pitch. You could see the passes were stringing more. So I know we're missing 2 more games for our starting team to be back on the pitch, and most definitely you'll see a difference.
Yes, the suspensions have really killed you guys this season so far.
Yeah, well, yes, it's suspension. I mean, when you do something bad, you expect to get punished for it, and I think, well, I know they learn from that, because they are very eager to play, and I'm sorry for it. By the time they come back, the team not will meet I'm very sorry for them.
And that's the Middleham United head coach Ronnie Gustav. The Premier League will continue this afternoon with Petro Caribe Point Michel taking on Promex Harlem United at 4 o'clock. And at 6:30, the Belfast Estate Maho Soccer Strikers will take on Do It Center Mighty Avengers. Some basketball news now. The Trafalgar Prowlers managed their first win in the DABA Premier League as they got past the Marigot Sunrise as the National Basketball League continued last night at the Massac Indoor Facility. Thomas Felix got 30 points, leading Trafalgar to the 65-58 win. Ethan Boland had 27 for the Sunrise team. Meantime, in the Division 1 League, the Peebush Snipers edged out the Maho Gators 71-68. Siobhan Seaman got 19 for the Snipers. D'Artagnan Latai added 16 and Omari Etienne 15. Delton Eugene had 24 for Maho. Von Vidal added 19 and Akel Charles with 15. The basketball action continues tonight in the Premier League with the highly anticipated matchup between Zach Bastian and the rest of the Detroit Blazers against his former club, the Dr. Daru Pishley Sports Club Falcons. That match is at 9 o'clock. And at 7 in Division 1, Perkins Pisa 767 Sports Club Young Ballers will play Detroit Blazers. Some action in basketball at the Massac Indoor Facility this evening. The Dominica State College boys basketball team, they are the 2026 champions of the Sports Division Secondary School's basketball program as they blew past the PHL Secondary School in the finals at Windsor Park last night. The college took the encounter easily, winning 63-37. Scoring for the Dominica State College, Sherman Kazimi had 16 points, Zachary Julian and Dinari Dyer had 12 points each, while scoring for PHL Secondary School, Milton Thomas and Kaylan George 12 points each. The most valuable player, MVP of the final, was awarded to Dinari Dyer of the Dominica State College. Meantime, the Convent High School won the girls' division with a Hartford 47-39 win over the Dominica State College. Delicia Julian had 16 points, Amelia Bruno 14, and Sadie Walsh 13 for the Convent High School. The most valuable player of the final was awarded to Delicia Julian of the Convent High School.
Okay, first of all, we started the league with an energy. We prepared, even though most of us are in fee form. We had time management. We showed up when it was time, and we said, because we were first runner-up last year, that we're coming for the championship, regardless of if Dominica State College team is full of convent girls. We said that we're coming for them this year.
All right, that sort of mentality sounds very good. You had a lot of work to do on the ball, though. So talk to me about your individual performance this afternoon. You had to really carry the team.
Yes, as a well-experienced player, especially on my team, I had to take my foot forward, and I just had to lead my team, show them that we can win, and just lead the way.
What was the toughest part of this game? Because the college were actually leading in the first half.
Well, we started the first and second quarter a bit nervous. We wasn't playing to our best ability. But in the third and fourth quarter, we said that we have to play basketball and show them why we make it to the final.
And that's the final's most valuable player, MVP, and State College captain, Delicia Julian. Let's turn the focus now to cricket news. One of the coaches with the Dominica Cricket Academy feels Dominica has what it takes to emerge victorious against a visiting Barbados A team. The national under-23 team will take on Barbados in a 3-day match starting today at Benjamin's Park in Portsmouth. The Dominica team will feature Windward Island Volcanoes batsman Stefan Pascal and West Indies under-19 batter Arsenio Fontaine. Coach Sam Kernan says the team looks solid on paper, but the boys have to go out and execute.
Well, on paper, everything is always strong, But it's for the guys to go out and execute their skills. I mean, we believe that they have the skills to compete. But at the end of the day, they have to go out on the field and execute those skills. The first game is a 3-day game because I'm highly into the red ball cricket. I don't think we're playing enough red ball cricket in the Windward Islands, to be honest. And it's giving the boys exposure of going out and build an innings. How do I build an innings? Instead of going for the white ball stuff, bash, bash, bash. So the red ball, to me, develop your technique and your stability playing the game. So that is where I focus the most important part of the tournament.
And that's the coach of the Dominica Cricket Academy, Sam Kernan. The full Dominica team reads Jason Alexander as captain, Luvio Charles, Joel Dura, Kester Lestrade, Yawani Regis, Edmond Moranci, Arsenio Fontaine, Stefan Pascal, Neo Davis, Malachi Xavier, Tyrese LeBlanc, Jason Vidal, Shaquan Toussaint, Darren Toussaint, Cassidy Larocque, and Jelani Joseph. Dominica playing 3 matches, like a 3-day match against the visiting Barbados A team. That match will begin today. The national football captain Travis Joseph is hoping to get back on the field soon as he continues to recover from a serious knee injury. Joseph, a former Golden Boot winner, is also a key piece to the 3-time defending Premier League champions Central Cooperative Credit Union Dubla football team. The knee injury, which required surgery, has kept him out of action so far for the year. Joseph described the surgery as a success and says he's looking to getting back on the field.
Well, so far, so good, I would say. I feel I'm recovering very well. In my second week of therapy. So I'm just taking it one day at a time and working back to my way forward.
Mm-hmm. All right. So given the nature of the injury, how long do you anticipate that you'll be out?
Well, the doctor told me 3 months, which was like 6 weeks with the cast and 6 weeks with therapy as well. And then I can start back like training, given that I progress properly after therapy. Yeah, it was a knee injury and on the top of my kneecap, leading to the beginning of my thigh. Yeah, the quadricep tendon, it had a slight tear, so that was what the doctor worked on for me. And yeah, so far it's all sewed up and making it way back.
And it's something that you that has been bothering you for a while. So you're playing injured with it for a while.
Yeah, well, at the beginning of 2024, the ending of 2024, when I felt it, it wasn't too much of a worry for me because I could still play and don't feel any pain. But the last match we played in St. Kitts in November, that was the unfriendly tournament. Yeah, the pain was really bad. So I decided to go and get that done because I don't think I would be able to play anymore.
And that's the national football captain, Travis Joseph. Let's go back to some cricket news. The Castleborough Secondary School opened up the sports division secondary schools under 15 cricket tournament with a convincing win over the Northeast Comprehensive School as that competition got underway Friday at Jolly Jones Park. The Northeast Comprehensive School batting first. They were all out for 92 in 17.4 overs. Dante Ogis took 3 for 26. Camilo Lucia 2 for 12. Juan Prevost 2 for 11. And Sandres Tyson 2 for 15 for Castleborough Secondary School. Well, Castleborough Secondary School replied with 93 without loss in 7.2 overs. Jaquan Williams top scored with 34 not out, and Deshquan Benjamin got 22 not out. Castleborough Secondary School won by a convincing 10 wickets. President of the Dominica Athletics Association, Brendan Williams, is set to be re-elected unopposed for another term. Williams was the only nominee for president for the May 23 annual general meeting and election of officers. Nominations for the various positions closed on Wednesday. Also returning unopposed is Vice President Walson Paquette, Secretary General Philip White, and Assistant Secretary Treasurer Felicia Antoine. Jamasha Mello will serve as the new treasurer, and Judy Larocque, the new public relations officer. The Athletic Association will confirm the nominations at its annual general meeting on May 23. Some volleyball news. Defending champions in the KFC National Volleyball League Club 1 will be looking to maintain their unbeaten run as that tournament continues today. Club 1 will be at home in St. Joseph when they play R&D Academy in a triple header starting today, and that's this afternoon. The defending Division 2 champions will play R&D at 4 p.m., while at 6 p.m. Club 1 and R&D will meet in the women's division, and at 8 p.m. the two sides will meet again in the men's Division 1. Finally, some domino news. Game 2 of the semi-final matches of the FRS Express de Zille and Morancy & Sons Domino League will be played tonight. Brigidi Stars will meet Westbridge by the Bridge, and Eclipse will play Massey Square by Rosalind Bar in Pottersville from 6:30. Some domino actions there tonight in the FRS L'Express de Zille and Morancy & Sons domino competition. 9 o'clock this morning, we bring you the program that you don't want to miss, Connecting the Dots. You don't want to miss that from 9 this morning. The program titled Boys to Men Organization Dominica Men's Mental Health Awareness. And some big names on the program this morning: Dylan Regis, Shannon John, Shervin Dominic. They come face to face with Nigel Francis and Ivona John Baptist Luge. What a program we have for you set for 9. You don't want to miss. In fact, all men should be glued as they talk men's mental health awareness. I'm sure Joseph Fadul will be tuned as the program comes up tonight. In fact, this morning at 9 o'clock. That's news and sports. The next package on the radio of news and sports, 1:15 this afternoon. On behalf of the news and sports departments and our link person, Joseph Fadul, Curtis Matthew, saying good morning.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your